Relax, man. It's just passport control. Scan in, walk out. Nothing ever happens at these checkpoints.
Hold him! We have a breach!
The line at Sector 12 passport control stretched back nearly 40 meters. Marcus Hale shifted his weight from one foot to the other, rolling his battered travel bag behind him. Around him, humans and off-worlders alike shuffled forward in bored silence. A Velhari businessman tapping at a translucent data slate, two Sorvian children tugging at their mother's iridescent cloak, an elderly Earth couple sharing a protein bar and whispering about their hotel. Marcus had done this crossing 17 times in 3 years. Transit hub stamp move on. Nothing interesting ever happened at Sector 12. He almost believed that. Counter 4's indicator light blinked green. Marcus stepped forward, placing his worn Navy passport on the scanner plate. The officer behind the desk, a young human woman named Elia, blonde hair pinned back tightly, uniform badge reading Interplanetary Transit Authority, Sector 12, picked it up with practiced efficiency. Her eyes barely lifted. "Purpose of travel?" she asked flatly, feeding the passport into the verification slot. "Freelance cargo logistics. Heading to the Drevian belt stations," Marcus said. "Same answer as always." Elia nodded, eyes flicking to her screen. Then they stopped moving. Her fingers froze above the keyboard. The terminal screen shifted. A soft red glow pulsed across her face. Marcus noticed it. A warm amber badge icon appeared beside the scan data, one he had never seen before. Bold letters materialized beneath it. Match detected. Identity unconfirmed. Override authorized. Stand down. Elia stared at it for 3 full seconds. Then she did something Marcus had never seen a border officer do. She stood up from her chair. Not to challenge him. Not to call backup with alarm in her voice. She stood the way someone stands when a superior officer walks into the room. Spine straight, chin slightly lowered, hands folded at her sides. She bowed. It was subtle. Just a tilt of the head and shoulders, less than 5 degrees. But it was unmistakable. "Sir," she said quietly. Her voice dropping to a register Marcus had never heard from a border agent. "I'm required to notify command. Please remain at the counter. You're not being detained." Marcus blinked. What?" She was already pressing a discreet button on the underside of the desk. Within 30 seconds, 2 additional officers materialized from the side corridor, both taller, both wearing a different insignia Marcus didn't recognize. One of them was not human. The figure stood 7 feet tall, skin the pale blue-gray of a deep ocean, eyes entirely silver. It wore a uniform that matched no Earth-based authority Marcus had ever seen. The being looked at Marcus and tilted its head. Then it bowed too, lower than Elia had. "Marcus Hale," the tall figure said, voice smooth and resonant, like a cello string plucked in a vast chamber. "We have been looking for you for 11 years. The crowd behind Marcus had gone silent. He could feel eyes on his back. His mouth went dry. "There's been a mistake," he said carefully. "I'm just a logistics contractor. I move freight." "You move freight," the blue-skinned officer, Commander Vorath of the Galactic Transit Oversight Authority, confirmed with something that looked dangerously close to a smile. "And yet your genome signature matches the registered heir of the Hale Concordat Charter. The original charter. Filed 412 years ago." Marcus stared. "That's not possible. I don't have family money. I grew up in a one-room flat in Cardiff. The Concordat is not money, Mr. Hale." Vorath stepped closer, lowering its voice so only Marcus could hear. "It is a seat. One of 9 seats on the Interplanetary Oversight Board. The seat has been vacant since your great-grandmother's death. We have been waiting for the lineage to resurface. The silver eyes studied him with quiet intensity. You have been crossing these checkpoints for years. It took one very specific scanner upgrade, installed just last week, to finally see what you are. Elia was still standing. She hadn't sat back down. Marcus looked at the red glow on the screen, at the amber badge, at the growing ring of quiet attention forming around Counter 4. A Velhari businessman had lowered his data slate. The Sorvian mother had gone completely still. Even the elderly couple had stopped eating. What happens now? Marcus asked, his voice barely above a murmur. Vorith straightened to full height. Now, Mr. Hale, you have a choice. You can walk back to the freight lanes, continue your cargo runs, and we seal this file permanently. You never existed in our system, Oz. Or you come with us. Tonight. And you take the seat. The terminal behind Elia beeped once. The red warning dissolved. The screen now showed only one word, glowing a steady, patient gold. Waiting. Marcus looked down at his passport. Ordinary navy cover, dog-eared corners, coffee-stained back page. Then he looked up at Commander Vorith, at Elia still standing at quiet attention, at the vast transit hall full of species from a dozen worlds, all of them unknowingly living inside a system that had a seat with his name on it. He picked up his passport. He put it in his jacket pocket. I'll need a better bag, he said. For the first time, Commander Vorith smiled fully. We have one waiting. Elia sat back down and quietly stamped the next traveler's documents. But as Marcus walked away between the two officers, she allowed herself one small exhale, the kind you release when something that was supposed to happen finally does. The line moved forward.